Sleepy Hollow Season 3, Episode 13, Dark Mirror. Now, from the promo, I was actually super excited for this episode because I didn't realize that the devil was the Jersey Devil. But I still think it was a pretty cool enemy for the episode. It wasn't nearly as epic as I was expecting because I was thinking, like, the devil, which the way they kind of portrayed Malik was like he wasn't officially the devil, so that's why I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. It's like the devil. But they kind of played us with that with the promo, and it's like, oh, it went from the devil to the Jersey Devil, which I knew what that was, oddly enough, because of the show on AMC Comic Book Man, where they, in one of the episodes, they were like, let's go try to find the Jersey Devil. But it does actually fall in line with lore. The character's name is from the lore and everything, leads and all that stuff, so that was definitely really cool. The only reason I know the lore stuff is because of the comments I read on Hulu. But it's cool that they did keep it in line, because it could have just been the Jersey Devil and they could have had just a random name, but it was the actual name that's within the lore and everything crazy like that. But still a cool villain, still looked really creepy and stuff. Clearly dangerous, I can't remember the complete mix. Honestly, all I can think of is the Deathstalker Scorpion thing, which admittedly it made me look it up because I was like, I need to know what this is, especially because there's a show I watched called Ruby, and they have giant scorpion creatures called Deathstalkers, and I didn't know that was because they're based on a specific type of scorpion. I thought they were just called that because that's a cool name. But I liked that. I thought it was a cool creature. Led to a really cool scene when they had him pinned, and he whipped that tail and hit Ichabod in the face. I was like, holy crap! He like hit him, like it was either like in the cheek or like in the neck, but he hit him so hard with just like a poke, and he just like knocked him to the ground, and he broke all this glass. And then of course that leads to Abby. She's making this cure for him. Then she sees this little tiny medallion which has the symbol that she found, which I know the explanation they gave us, but I still feel like it's way more than that, because she basically used it as like a coping mechanism to kind of stay centered. But it's clearly way more than that. Like, she was speaking to the symbol in the last episode, like, he saved me and stuff. And she had the journal with all these drawings. It's way more than just that's her symbol of sanity or anything like that. It's clearly more than that, but that's kind of the explanation she gave. It was like, this is the thing that kind of kept me whole. And I'm like, clearly when it has this sort of effect on you, it's way beyond just, oh, this is the symbol I use to kind of stay grounded. It's way beyond that. So there's going to be something that comes from that. Like the part where she saw the symbol on the glass when it didn't even exist, says a lot about its, I would say it says a lot about its sort of magical quantities, but I don't know, or qualities, I don't know why I said quantities, but it kind of says a lot about whatever this medallion is going to end up being. I feel like the medallion is going to be a key, because we're going to see the symbol somewhere else, most likely in something made out of stone, because everything's super old. And it's going to unlock something else really crazy. It may or may not unlock a weapon to fight the hidden one, or it could unlock something that can be used either as a weapon or as a tool for the hidden one to get even stronger. So I feel like that's where they're going with it, because we have, the medallion, and Ichabod has it now. And I love the fact that they kind of didn't make it go on for way too long, where it's like, oh, Abby has this secret, which is clearly something pretty dangerous. And of course, it's a little hard to hide it when you're about to save someone's life, and you freeze for like almost, I felt like she was frozen for a solid minute. I honestly thought like he should just be dead for sure. But of course he gets saved, and so it's hard to hide it in that case. But I'm glad she wasn't able to keep it going, and now that they know the secret, I'm sure Ichabod will tell Ginny and Joe, so everyone will be able to help Abby figure out what's going on. They'll probably, also tell Foster. But, I'm excited that they kind of dealt with that, so we'll get some answers. We'll probably get a flashback, because Ichabod will be like, oh, I remember this now, or it looked different in the past, or something like that. Although I guess he can't say it looked different, because the medallion was actually inside of Leeds' place, which was created when Ichabod was actually living. So he can't say it looked different in the past, but they'll probably find some information, and then he'll at least remember like a passing glimpse, of it before, because to him it was totally irrelevant. But then he'll be like, oh, I totally remember this time I saw it, once in a book on a page that Franklin probably wrote in or something, because it's always Franklin. It's never anybody else. It's always Franklin stuff. So probably something in there. Great nod to Franklin as well, because they actually had the keys. I think that was the first time, oddly enough, for, Franklin's pretty famous for quite a few things, but that's like kind of the number one thing, is the whole lightning rod experiment. So it's kind of funny that it's been all this time and now we finally have him with the keys and everything. I was like, oh man, finally they kind of did that reference to honestly what I think he really is known for more than anything, because it's when you grow up really young, it's like he invented electricity is basically how I remember first learning who Benjamin Franklin was. Like, oh, he invented electricity is pretty much how it was taught, or at least how we remember when we're first learning it. But I thought it was kind of cool, like, oh, they finally did that reference to his character. And then we got another arrival scientist, and I thought he was cool even as a human. I kind of wish they did more of the flashbacks because I liked what he was doing and how he was somewhat connected to Ichabod. And it's like, you could have been my apprentice instead of his apprentice, and you would have actually learned better things and more interesting stuff. But of course, with the way things turned out, it's probably a good choice. Ichabod went with Franklin instead. But I really enjoyed it. They went into dark magic. They went into alchemy, which is pretty cool, and that because I'm a super nerd, it made me think of anime because of Full Metal Alchemist. But they went into alchemy, and he changed into the creatures and stuff like that. And when they get into his place, when Abby found this symbol and she realized that it seemed like it was like a phonograph thing, which is for music, and then it ends up being a projector that he made hundreds of years before they ever existed. I was like, that's actually a really cool random thing. Although I don't know how he made it. Like, it still kind of confused me a little bit how he made that from what's typically music. Because the phonograph thing is basically just dots. Like, little dots in certain areas affect certain keys. I don't know how that translated to video, but it's fake anyway, so I guess it ultimately doesn't matter. But we do get a pretty good backstory as to how Pandora and the Hidden One actually end up together, and it's because the Hidden One, who is called that, as not as a villain, it was actually like he was kind of the good guy in a sense. He was one of the good guys for all the gods and stuff, and then he kind of became the bad guy because he wanted to take out one of the other gods, which he does, which is super easy to me. Like, they give a cool explanation, and Pandora's the one who was bringing offers to all the gods and stuff, and then she tries to bring happiness to the Hidden One, and we find out that he's there basically to protect what is now known as Pandora's box. And I was like, okay, so they all work together to completely wipe out all of evil. And I was like, that's actually really cool, and it shows that he was actually a good guy in the past. What is it that, it kind of gives me the question, like, oh, what made him turn evil? And basically it was like he just wanted to turn evil. That's how it seemed, because it was like, oh, we completely wiped out all evil, and we placed it in this box. And then it was like, basically take this box and kill him, and that's how you do it. And that's exactly what happened. And then, of course, we don't get the full explanation, and it ends with the Hidden One gets betrayed by humanity, and he's still sent away. But based on the video and how they did it, Pandora was still upset that that happened, and it wasn't her plan to have him go back and be cast out again. So it has me very curious how that happened, and I'm hoping we get an explanation for it, because it left a huge question, like, oh, but he was betrayed by humanity still, and based on how they did it, it happened as soon as they killed the other god. They banished him right back, out of existence. So it says a lot there, and I thought it was pretty cool how they did it as well, because we find out that the Hidden One is where Abby was, and the other god, who is like basically just a shining light person, he's actually in the other cave where the tree is, but the tree, of course, looks very beautiful and stuff like that. So I like the way they did that. I was like, oh, that's cool that they use both those sets to kind of show the differences, where the god had like this beautiful tree, and he has like, at now it's just used for the Hidden One to see where everybody is, but it was like this little like fountain, basically. It was like a beautiful little fountain, and he had a nice tree and stuff. And the Hidden One is just like in the desert almost, in like a desert cave or something, is pretty much where he was. So I like the way that they used the sets in this episode for the flashbacks. I thought that was actually pretty cool. And the end of the episode comes with basically the villains getting exactly what they wanted. Unfortunately, the Jersey Devil does succeed in his mission, even though they completely destroyed him. Like, Abby stabs him with the lightning rod. Ichabod kind of had a pretty badass line where he's like, Benjamin, or he's like, Franklin sends his regards, and then he gets struck by lightning. But ultimately, somehow the sands of time still end up in the hands of the hidden one in Pandora, and I'm assuming it's magic, so it didn't surprise me that they disappeared. I was like, that doesn't really shock me that they would randomly end up there because it's all magic and stuff anyway. It didn't even surprise me. But he gets the sands and he's going to use it as like an ultimate weapon. And like I said, I feel like whatever this symbol is, it could be used as just a weapon to defeat the hidden one, or it could be a weapon for both sides. Someone just has to get to it first, and that I think makes a lot of sense because that would explain why Leeds had it in the first place, because he was trying to figure out how do I save him. But now that the team has it, if they find out what it goes to, they can use it as a weapon to stop the hidden one. So looking forward to how that's going to play out. But I think this was a fun episode. Ginny and Joe had some actually entertaining relationship stuff, which I thought was pretty funny because Joe is really messing up in this episode, and I thought it was so funny. But they actually have a pretty cool relationship. It's like normally relationship stuff, it's kind of sapping, it's kind of like the man parts of episodes. But in this one, I was like, this was actually pretty entertaining. He was really funny. He was trying to help, and I thought it was kind of a bad idea too. I knew it was going to be terrible because he got rid of the whole trailer to begin with. I was like, he really should have just bought a second one and put it next to the first one and figured out from there. But it was like he wipes out the first trailer and moves everything. But it was still really funny. I still enjoyed it. It wasn't like too stupid and sappy or anything like that. So it was actually fun relationship stuff in the episode. I think they oddly make an entertaining couple in the show. So I was totally fine with that. Them defeating the Jersey Devil and everything like that, like I said, I thought was definitely pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening and how they help Abby. And I still feel like we're going to have someone go back to whatever this weird sort of purgatory area was, because it seems like they got rid of it so early on that there's got to be something there. It has to be something there that the little medallion goes to, maybe, or the medallion opens up a door that leads back to there where they could go back and forth whenever they choose to. But I feel like they just got rid of that area way too fast for it to just be completely done. So I feel like they're going to get there somehow. So I don't know. I could easily be wrong, obviously. It's just speculation. But I feel like they're going to get there. The medallion's going to have something. And, I'm looking forward to what we're going to be getting next time. But definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And like I said, I personally believe the medallion is going to have something to do with the story. It's not just going to be a physical thing. It's going to be a key to something, I feel. But I want to know what you guys think. If the medallion has any significance whatsoever, and if you guys think it does, what do you guys think that it's going to be a key to? Will it be a weapon to help the hidden one? Is it a weapon to help the team? Maybe, like I said, it could be a weapon for just whoever ends up getting there first. I want to know your speculations for that, and of course what you guys thought about the episode in general. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.